the XRC Addicts back again. On the table now, bunch of stuff. So we're gonna talk about the Autobotix ZMR 250 Warrior that I've named Lil Flip. Now I've named him Lil Flip for my own reasoning, but I do want to point out that this is not, it doesn't run a Flip 32. It is gonna run a Naze eventually. It's not a inversion build. I don't know, there's a lot of different terms and stuff out there. When I say it is an Autobotix Warrior build, the build of it being flipped upside down, the motors being upside down and all of that, that is something that Paul Dowling at Autobotix.ca kind of pioneered and came up with. There's a previous episode where I'll explain all of why I built it this way and kind of the build. It is pretty close to final build, so I wanted to do a video on it. Small things have changed. The skids are now a same Align 450 copter it comes off of, but a plastic version. I've got some spacers in here, 3D printed, which we'll talk about the 3D printed spacers. I've got two different ones currently. Both are from Robert Wheeler. I want to give some shouts out now. He's a guy I met on Facebook. He's been doing his own 3D printing for a little bit, for a couple months. He's doing some awesome work. The Mobius has moved to the top, which I actually used a broken lower plate that I had a crash and I cracked. I cut it up and I actually built this upper angular Mobius mount. And all I did was I used two balls up front that are glued to the plate at the top. Then it's zip tied at the back with a little piece of foam below it. Besides that, no other real major changes have come into effect. Just to show you, the batteries that I'm running are 1.5 nanotech. I also have a 1.3. I have a 1.6 that I also run. All that's cool. Those batteries are working great. Lipo checker here. This is actually going to change. I actually have the FRSKY lipo monitor, and it's on its way, so it's going to go on board. It's still running the CC3d, which you'll see that I finally got an awesome tuning guide for through another shout out, Giles Peters, getting his name right this time. He has an amazing way of tuning this thing, and it is just dialed in right now. So the CC3d is still in there. I did make a decision on possibly changing this build, and I have some parts over on the bench that I'll show you. I'm thinking I'm going to keep this way, and I have a couple other ideas as to what I'm going to do instead of what I originally planned to do with these parts. The original plan with these parts, when I go through them, I'll explain. But I'm really liking the CC3d now that it's tuned. So the camera up front is a PZ0420 from RunCam. Dude, this camera is awesome. I'm going to put up some footage here in a little while when we talk about the Dominators. Night and day, oh my gosh, man, the visibility on this thing at night is amazing. It's almost better than daytime visibility. It's great. The Mobius obviously still there, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I have decided to run tri-props full time with this setup. It seems to work really well. Battery life, not so much very good for yet, but I'm hoping with the tuning and to dial some more things in, I might be able to get some more battery time out of it. So we will see. Yeah, so that's the ZMR Lil Flip 250. I hope you think it's cool. I mean, I think it's cool. You'll see some video too of it flying here in a minute. In fact, maybe right now buzzing around and around my head, you'll see some video. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to 250s, but I'll say that now that it's dialed in, that thing feels great. Really great. It's actually going to push me to learn more manual mode flying on Ike, the full-size disco. So anyways. Real quick, we'll go over the parts list that I have right here. I got a Neo 6M GPS unit. This GPS is not really necessarily for stability control because I know that 250s shouldn't really need stability control, and that's not the purpose for them, nor is that what I want it for. I have it because if you remember, Ike used to run a Flytrex Core 2. I want to incorporate this into the ZMR 250. Why? Because I think it'd be really cool to track its stats. So this mainly is for telemetry for this. So I have a cable still coming to hook up this to this to this, and we're going to test it out. However, CC3d, yes, I could hook the GPS up to it, but let's just say I do want to play with RTH or any stability controls, or let's just say that I decide like I have, to move these parts possibly to another larger build, maybe like a 300 platform, then I would need this. And what I went with was Multi-Rotor Mania Dragonfly 32 Pro. So it's a full unit with the Pro, with the barometer, the accelerometers, all that stuff, the gyros. I can hook a GPS up into it. I've actually got it set up to where I'll also set it up to where I can run the PPM. One thing I don't have with me right now is I do also have a FRSKY DH4 or D4R2. I need to do some flashing on it apparently, and it's gonna go here in this setup. So maybe not with this, but it'll go with this setup. Minimo SD from Multi-Rotor Mania to team with it. I do have an OSD already in here. I don't currently have it running because I'm waiting on a new PDB. That's another thing that you don't see here. Overcraft PDB is on its way. It is going to go into here and it's going to clean it up really nice and neat. If I use these parts on it, I use these parts on it. If I don't, these parts are going to go somewhere else. I actually have 2 Overcraft boards coming, so it doesn't matter. So when I do that, this guy here is going to get cleaned up so much. It is very dirty right now. This is a whole nother episode I'll talk about, but one thing I do recommend to anybody building these things, unless you've done it before a couple of times, don't try for perfection. Get as much info as you can on the bare bones basic build and do that. Do a bare bones build without anything and then add pieces on. It's so much easier to problem solve when you have a bare bones unit than it is to try to put everything together, and if you've done multiple things wrong, who knows how to get to the bottom of it. I see a lot of frustrated people out there, but I also see a lot of people asking, hey, I need this and I need that and I need an OSD and I need this. No, you don't. Dude, get a simple PDB, get a controller, an ESC, some motors. That's it. You don't need an FPV camera. You don't need a Mobius. Do that. Get it flying. Then go add the FPV gear. Actually, add the Mobius first, then the FPV gear. So that's my recommendation. I kind of did a little bit of all of it, and I'll tell you, I wasted some money. I burnt up a couple cameras. I burnt up a board. I did a couple things wrong trying to do too much too soon. LEDs. I have some in here right now, but these are not the ones, but I have some new LEDs on its way from Japan or China. Some waterproof, cheapo LEDs. I'm gonna cut some strips and do some fun stuff. That being said, Robert Wheeler, 3D printed parts here that I have, mostly from him, except for part of these are a gimbal. These gimbal parts are actually from my brother Chris. He printed off of the internet, off of a Thingiverse for me, which was actually, what is his name? Something Ray, X-Ray or Zo-Ray, whatever his name is. And these little lens sunshades for GoPros, they're a little large, so we're fixing those up. These are ESC guards from Robert. They actually are supposed to have LEDs dropped in them. But I think I'm going to do a giveaway with some of these 3D parts because they don't fit my build. I have used one in the back and one of his other black, the smaller versions in the front. And I'm going to ask him to actually print me some specific parts for that. But I'm going to give these away, man. I bought them from him. He helped me out with one of them, so I'll pay it forward. Carbon fiber props. These guys are going to go on here once I perfect my piloting skills a little more. We'll get some carbon fiber props on there. We tried them out yesterday a little bit. They work. So yeah, so that's that. That's all the parts and what the plan was or is. That all being said, let's get to the meat and potatoes. So, Lil Flip. He is an FPV 250 racer, whatever you want to call it. I have flown 3 full FPV flights, and when I say full FPV flights, I mean goggled from takeoff and landing or crash. 2 were crashes and 1 was a full takeoff and landing. FPV is very, 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 very different. It's difficult to pick up at first. You have a lot of theories on it. People say it's easy, some people say it's hard. It's just all in the mind and how you work around it. I think a lot of it has to do with how you approach it and take it on. I was flying line of sight specifically. I tried on the monitor. I found that it was too easy to look up and change perspectives, and changing perspectives confused me too much. And I was crashing like every 30 seconds, it seemed like. So I decided to just fly line of sight and drop the monitor until I got good goggles. So I was flying line of sight. I learned how to fly it a little bit, And then now I've got the goggles, and I haven't had a lot of FaceTime, eye time with them, but I've done a lot, or a little bit here and there at the house, and I've actually flown Ike with them twice, and that was really, really great. And then so I've tried flying a couple different times on the little one. My advice, immerse yourself. Either go all the way or don't. It's anxietous, it's scary, whatever you want to call it. But just jump in and do it. That being said, tune your vehicle first. If you don't have a tuned quad, you'll never get it right. It's hard enough with a tuned quad to just get into it and figure it out. Do it with an untuned quad, you'll never figure it out. So guys, just like your build, slow down. Do a little bit at a time. Maybe try flight simulators. I didn't, but I think they probably would definitely help. And then just do it. Get you a decent camera and just do it. Be somewhere safe and out in the open. If you have a buddy, please bring them and have them spot for you and look for people and help you. If they can communicate to you things to do, that will help you tremendously and exponentially grow faster. It'll help you learn easier and faster. Somebody telling you what you're doing when you actually can't see it. Somebody, again, look for other people. Be safe about it though. Go out where it's open in the middle of nowhere if you can. And just do it. Don't be afraid to crash. Throttle out. I don't know, that's my biggest thing right now is when I get worried and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a tendency to want to crash it almost by just dropping the throttle. Don't do that. Either go light on the throttle down or just let off the right stick and throttle up a little bit and just a little bit, let it pop up a little bit and then stop and then get your orientation. Anyways, just little tricks. I don't know, this is just my experience. Anyways, so that all being said, I went with Dominator V2 goggles. I'll show some pictures maybe up above my head, I don't know. With that, I teamed up a TBS Black Sheep Dominator RX. So this is a receiver and this is the goggles. I know what you're thinking, most people like what do you mean you have to buy a receiver? That's silly. Well, it's really not. We all build our own vehicles, we all run our own FPV equipment and different signal strengths and different frequencies. So smartly, the Dominator, unlike all the other packaged, bundled Fat Shark goggles, is a very, very high quality. Man, I'm telling you, the picture on this is good. Because they're such high quality and they include the DVR, they don't include a camera and they don't include a receiver, a transmitter, and they don't include a receiver. The other bundles do because they all have all those things together in there. They're also much lower quality parts. That being said, this has a DVR. It's got not HD, but it's got really great resolution. It's a great, great little package. You buy your own RX to match what you have. So this is what I went with. The Dominator, Team Black Sheep Dominator RX, and it comes with a patch antenna. So inside your little case, you have your Fat Shark goggles. I've already decaled mine, of course. This is the patch antenna that comes with the TBS RX, which is actually a little chip that's in here. It just plugs in, you power it up, and you kind of set it by holding an LED, you select channels. There's up to 4 different channel bands on the TBS, so you've got 32 bands, or 32 channels. Battery pack for the Fat Shark in the headband, you just plug it in. There's some other cables to run out if you want and stuff like that. These things are really, really comfortable, and they're nice. When you fit them the right way to your eyes, they're nice. The picture is nice and clean. I don't know, they're awesome. Are they pricey? Yes. But that being said, look guys, I want to tell you, you'd be surprised at what you can find out there if you just participate in the community, be involved, help people out, meet people, network. Don't go out looking for handouts, but you never know who you run across, and you might run across somebody that can help you out on a deal with these things. I personally would go look at Aerial Visions. I would talk to Hugo Salinas. Sometimes he does package deals and stuff where he can drop the price on things. So that's where I got mine. Works out great. Again, we'll show some video here in a minute. I want to show buzzing around at time to time, some nighttime video. It's great clear picture with that PZ camera. The DVR you're seeing, the video was recorded off the DVR. I'll show some daytime video after that. Daytime, it's good too. You know, the camera set does it all. So I'll show video. Here's some first. How about we do this? Here we go. Some video of the PZ420 daytime. All right, and then now we'll go into nighttime. Cool. And now we'll just go through and I'll cycle through two different views, which is going to be, one is going to be the GoPro view of Ike. You'll see the on-screen displays. And then after that, we'll roll to a Mobius view DVR on the Fat Shark. Cool. So that's your perspectives. I mean, that shows you kind of the quality differences. It's a great system. Immerse yourself, guys. Build yourself one if you want. I can tell you you're going to spend, because I did all the research. If you want to build something that's comparable to this setup, you're going to spend $300, if not more. So why not just buy it all set up, ready to go? No frustration, no problems. I don't know. That's that. So last but not least, the FRSKY, how we're controlling everything here. It's the new unit that I upgraded to. And I say upgrade to from the Futaba. Dude, my Futaba T8J, which is for sale, guys, is a great setup. I needed more channels, bottom line, and I can't afford its Futaba with more channels. So I upgraded, but really it was a lateral move, because if I can sell my Futaba for what it's worth, this thing ends up being basically a break even. So I've got the Taranis 9XD Plus. I haven't done a lot of the programming and personalizing yet, except for a little bit. I have done this, if you haven't already seen it.
Welcome to Taranis.
It's pretty cool. It's the ATXRC Addicts logo. Got a switch on. So I've done that. The voice has also changed slightly. But besides that, I haven't done a lot of the crazy stuff. I have done a LiPo upgrade on it. Besides that, it's a great little radio. I've been flying Ike with it. I've been flying the 250. It took a little while to get used to, but up to 16 channels, man, and that's great. So I now have Ike's LEDs, and I'll pop that up right now. Ike's LEDs operate off of a switch right there. Some other things will be operating that way off of the little guys here soon. I just haven't gotten that far deep into it. So yeah, so that's our FPV ZMR 250 setup, man. We're digging it. I'm trying to get as much time as I can, flight time in the seat. I'm gonna get out of here in a little bit and go get some flight time, actually. In fact, this is the last show for today, I think. I'm gonna wrap it up. You guys have fun, man. Get out there, get some flying done, get some bashing done. Whatever you wanna do, man. Have fun, spread the love, help somebody. Again, great shout outs, man. Robert Wheeler, man, Giles Peters, Brian Countryman, I don't know, man, all you guys out there, dude, all you guys, really. Amit Rajiv over at Flytrex, man, he's a great dude. I don't know, man, everybody. Y'all are gonna have a good day. I'm gonna get out there and go fly, okay? Cool. Hey, you like to see?